In After Effects, it is very easy to give motion to an object in line. A rocket moving in the direction of the line you set, a fish moving in an aquarium or a car moving on the road are animations obtained in the same logic. The important thing here is to make the object move in the direction of the line, as well as following the angles of the line. Let's see how to do this in After Effects. After opening After Effects, select the New Composition option. Let's write a name for the composition name. To be more specific, I'm writing path since we are going to make a line animation. Let's set the width to 9020 pixels and the height to 1080 pixels. We can leave the others as they appear here. In duration, we set the duration of our animation. Let's have a 30-second workspace. We can narrow it down later if we want. Background color is normally black by default. Let's start with black. Later, we can add other images to the background if necessary. Then you can click the OK button. Our scene is created. First of all, let's add the object that will fly on the scene, on the line. That is, the object that will move on the line. I've prepared it in advance. I'm going to add a PNG file. The background of this PNG file is transparent. You cannot add images with transparent background in JPEG files. The extension that supports the transparent feature here is PNG. So I have prepared a file with PNG extension and I'm adding this file to the scene. When we want to change the black color you see in the background, we select the Composition Settings option under Composition. We can also use Ctrl-K as a shortcut. A window like this will open. We know this window while creating a new composition. We can change the background color at the bottom to any other color instead of black in this color palette that opens by clicking on it. Let's close these windows by clicking OK. First, I make the object invisible because we are going to draw a path here. In other words, we need to draw the path that the plane will take, the line on which it will move. In the toolbox above, you will see a pen tool. The shortcut is the letter G. I click on the pen tool and draw a path on the scene, on the workspace. You can draw a path, however you want the flight of the plane to be. First of all, I'm going to draw a path with a little detail to keep it simple and easy to explain. You can develop it according to yourself. I'm drawing a line like this. Remember that we can change the paths of these lines or the points later. You have the chance to intervene in any kind of situation. After drawing the line, let's come to the timeline. A layer called Shape Layer 1 was created between the layers through this line we drew. When we go down to the details of this layer, let's see its properties by pressing the arrow icon right next to it and then open Contents. You will see Shape 1. When we open the properties of Shape 1, you will see an option called Path 1. When I open it, you will see the text path. This is the place we will use under this shape layer, this path area. Now let's select this path area, copy it with Ctrl-C, then close the shape layer. Now we can open the plane image. Click on the arrow on the left side of the plane again. Let's position, select position under transform and paste the path we just copied with Ctrl-V. With position selected, I press Ctrl-V. After doing this, a keyframe is created in position. You will see that the keyframe icon on the left side is active. If you look at the timeline, you will see that there are 3 keyframes again. So let's see what happens when I play this. What kind of thing we will see. As you can see, the plane is now moving on the path we have just drawn. Each point we drew on the path, each point we clicked with the mouse was returned us as a keyframe. So now we can play with these keyframes. I can speed them up and slow them down as I want. So, through these edits, I can also adjust the duration of the animation. Let me move the middle frame closer to the left frame so that the speed difference is obvious. After the second frame, it plays very slowly. These keyframes are already the basic movement points of After Effects. You can also change the effects of the movement by editing them by changing their position. Now it plays like this. I'm going to move the starting point to the left, but I can't right now because our pen tool is selected. If I get the selection tool from the top menu, then I can edit and move these paths as I want. I can edit the points of the path. For example, I moved them around to show that I can intervene. There is a line in the middle. What is this line? This line is the shape layer we created. We have nothing to do with this shape layer. We have taken what we are going to take from it. And now we can delete this layer. By selecting the layer and pressing delete, I'm deleting the layer. This is the line that we are going to use at the moment. On this line, our plane will move. Our plane is too big for the workspace. We need to make it smaller a little bit. We can reduce the size of the plane by decreasing the value in the scale property. After making these adjustments, let's come to our biggest problem. Here the plane is following the line, but not moving in the direction of the line. The tip of the plane should always be facing the line. At this scene, the plane needs to be pointing downwards. This is also very easy to edit. I right click on the plane image and under transform, I click on auto orient, which is the bottom option. When I select this option, we see a window like this. There are two options. Off is selected by default. As soon as I select orient along path and click the OK button, the plane starts moving along the line. Your object may be different. It may not be a plane. If you think it is not moving enough along the line, you can make a manual adjustment by changing the rotation value. This adjustment will be adapted and applied along the whole line. For example, if you think that I rotate it a little more, it will be much more convenient for it to follow the line in this way. You can change the rotation values and scale values here as you wish. For example, even if there is such an object, it will move in this way in line with the line. Of course, when we consider this object, this plane, the angles we just made make much more sense in terms of appearance. These lines are okay. That's actually the essence of it. This is the way to make the line in such a way that the object follows them on the line. So, how can we change the path that we draw? How can we make this line look different by adding additional points? For this, we need to press and hold on the pen tool again and select Add Vertex tool. Look on the left side. There is already a plus icon next to the icon. This is a tool that allows us to add new points on the line. After selecting this, new points will be added wherever I click on the line. You should not exaggerate these points and make them too close to each other. Otherwise, we might get unwanted results on the object. I clicked here on the line and it added a new point. I can take the selection tool again and modify this point, change its position. Let's see what happens when I move it. This is how it happens. You will notice that when I add the point, a new keyframe is created on the timeline. We can also modify this keyframe to change the speed balance of the animation. At this point, after the second frame, it goes up very steeply. It looks unnatural. To overcome this, we need to soften the point at the bottom a bit more. When I move the lines with the selection tool selected, you can see that it is playing on one side when it should be playing on both sides. If we want both sides to play, we need to press the Alt key on the keyboard. So we can make both sides change equally. That's how I expand the bottom one. And we will expand the top one. If we don't press the Alt key, we can still see unusual, unnatural movements of the object. So by pressing the Alt key and moving both sides, we can get a smoother image. It makes much more sense to move it in this way. Let's play it again. I'm playing it again to see again the changes we have made. It is relatively better. Of course, the background doesn't have to be one color. We can expand our animation a little bit more by putting other images. We can get more different results. This is the way to place objects on the lines we draw in After Effects and make the objects follow that line. That's all for this video. If you learned some cool new stuff from today's video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. I'll see you in the next video.